Hey guys, Chris here for Thomann's Guitars and Basses. In today's Guitar Tech Tips, I will try to figure out if this solves all the little annoying problems of guitar tremolos. In this series, I want to show you how to set up your guitars and how to fix the most common issues without using too many special tools. This is called the Tremmory, and it's supposed to revolutionize using guitar tremolos. The two biggest issues with floating tremolo loaded guitars are when you drop tune a string, the others go out of tune, and if you bend the string, the other strings go flat. It's quite a claim, so let's see if it lives up to the expectations. In case you enjoy Guitar Tech Tips, make sure to subscribe to the channel and ring the bell. There are three versions of the Tremmory: small, medium, and large. The respective lengths are 71, 76, and 81 millimeters. Before you order one, please check the length between the tremolo block and the spring claw to ensure that the Tremmory system fits your guitar. The space between the tremolo block and the spring claw should be 3 to 5 millimeters longer than the Tremmory itself. You have to install it like if it was a tremolo spring. If you have 2 springs in the guitar, you can put it right in the middle. If you have 3 or 4, you can put it left or right of the middle spring. I have 3 springs here, so I will put it right between these two, like this. It's important to understand that it's not a tension spring replacement. You should stick to the same amount of springs as before installing the Tremmory. It's easier to install it if you remove the middle spring first. Otherwise, it's really not a big deal. Once it's in there and the tremolo is back to its normal position, you can tune the strings again and then tighten the screw on the Tremmory. And now it's time for a test ride. Let's see how it works and especially how it feels to play it. Alright, reactions. Is there a difference in feel? Absolutely, yes. It almost feels like a hardtail bridge, really. It's way stiffer. Does it keep the tuning if I drop the E string? Let's find out. Yes, it does. I cannot hear any weird frequency collapses or anything, so it is pretty much in tune. It's not 100% in tune though. So in the studio, that might not be enough. On stage, cool. Does it keep the rest of the strings in tune when bending? Let's sum it up. The pros, well, clearly it keeps all the strings in tune when bending, which would normally be impossible with a tremolo guitar. And the second thing is you can drop the E string to D if you want to, and you don't have to tune the rest of the strings. That's pretty cool. Cons, it's impossible to do all those subtle little vibratos with the whammy bar. So that's something that would disturb me on a guitar that I use for subtle solos and all that kind of stuff. Otherwise, it's up to you if this disturbs you or not. But that's what happens if you try to do something subtle with the trem bar. It sounds almost query, sort of nervous. It doesn't have this fluidity. And the second con is pretty obvious. You can forget about the flutter effect of a tremolo, which would work like this. It's not happening But of course you can disable the Tremmory by loosening the screw. The only downside is that if you loosen it, it might just unscrew itself totally and then you lose it, so be careful. But if you loosen the screw, your trem works as usual. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions left. I'd love to know what you want us to cover in this series. Don't be afraid of setting up and fixing guitars yourself. It's time to become your own guitar tech. But we don't have any outtakes. We're not funny anymore. CSI, Miami, whatever. Like, let's zoom in and sharpen it. Exactly. Because you can sharpen pixels this big. Ledercouchton. You sound like a leather couch. And you sit down and